Divine masculines, you have a divine feminine that has something in their heart that has them hooked on you. This is the channel song that I just got. So I wanted to give you guys a message because I feel like divine masculines, you have a divine feminine energy that has something that they want to say to you. I feel like this is somebody who you are currently possibly in separation from. Maybe you guys just had a fight and you haven't spoken to them in a few days. Maybe you guys have been separated for months to years. But this particular download, this song is called Something in My Heart. The artist, her name is Michelle. The song came out in 1989, so some of you guys could have been born in 1989. But the lyrics go like this. You take my love and I'm willing, but there's no limit to the love I'm giving. The love I'm giving. There's no reason why we should be apart, because searching for something out there will lead two lonely hearts. Two lonely hearts. We've come too far to let it all end. I've told you over and over again how I feel inside, but if you go, oh baby, there's something you should know. There's something you should know. There's something in my heart, and it's got me hooked on you. So you guys might need to look up that song so you can listen to it. But like I said, there's someone divine masculine that is in your energy who feels like you guys have a connection that is worth fighting for. So I'm going to try to see if I can give you guys a message. I'm going to address something that possibly happened in your past, something that's possibly going on currently in the present, and see if we can see what your possible future with this with your divine feminine looks like. But again, the song, Something in My Heart by Michelle. Welcome back to Love, Light, and Life Affirmed, your daily affirmations for self-love and growth. Welcome in, divine masculines. This is your message. Any cross watchers or divine feminines, welcome in. This could be pertaining to how you are currently feeling about a divine masculine you are in separation from. So everybody stay tuned. So let's start with the past. Let me get 3, please, just from the past energy, from the divine feminine's point of view. One more, please. One more for the past, please. One more for the past. Okay. So in the past, divine masculine, from the divine feminine's point of view, you had a divine feminine who felt a lot of grief in the connection. There was a lot of hurt. There was a lot of pain. There was definitely broken hearts, grief. And I feel like your divine feminine was very open and honest about how they were feeling. They were not afraid to express themselves, the grief that they were feeling, how they felt disconnected from you, how they felt unsatisfied with the direction the relationship was going. They were truly heartbroken. And they felt like the more transparent they were with you at the time, divine masculine, the worse the connection got. They started to feel as if they were just nagging now. They felt like what they were saying, the things that they were concerned about, the things that didn't make them happy, were falling on deaf ears. You guys were no longer connected in the way that they wanted you to be. And it completely broke their heart. They felt like a victim of love. They felt like they were in a connection with you at the time, divine masculine, where they felt like they were actually grieving the relationship even before your separation. The present moment. 3, please, for the present moment. 3, please, for the present moment from the Divine Feminine. So I feel like in this present moment, Divine Masculine, your Divine Feminine has been working on going within. I feel like your Divine Feminine has discovered a lot about herself in this time of your separation. Like I said, you guys could have just had an argument and you haven't been around each other maybe for a few weeks, few months, but this could even be someone where it's been a few years since you guys have actually been connected to each other. But I feel like in that time, your Divine Feminine has discovered, dug deep, done some healing, gain a different perspective, a new perspective, a perspective filled with a lot more knowledge that maybe they needed to heal their own wounds. Maybe they were expecting you as their Divine Masculine to make them feel whole. And maybe they realized that that wasn't fair. They needed to realize their own self-worth. Because self-worth is something that we have to give to ourselves. Self-worth is not something that we can find in others. It cannot be validated by others. We have to know that we are worth the love, attention that we seek. But I feel like no matter how long you have been in separation from this particular Divine Feminine, I feel like she has always known that she will be always yours. This says infinity. You have a Divine Feminine who has always seen forever with you. And I believe that's why in the past, before your separation, it broke their heart that they could not figure out how to make it work with you. They could not figure out how to connect with you in the proper way, Divine Masculine. But I feel like you are being seen now, because this Divine Feminine has had time again to work on themselves, to truly go within and see their own flaws and take accountability for their own actions. And it doesn't mean, Divine Masculine, that you were perfect in the past either. There were probably things that you were avoiding. You probably didn't want to deal with having to discuss feelings because it felt like every time the Divine Feminine brought up something, it was something negative. So I feel like it made you go into your own shell, almost like a crab, to protect itself. It made you become an avoidant, closed off, not wanting to open up emotionally because you felt like there was going to be no resolution no matter what you said or did. And you could be right, Divine Masculine, because again, in the past, you were dealing with a feminine who needed some healing. But I feel like in this present moment, this is why you have a Divine Feminine who feels like your connection is worth the fight. Your connection is worth coming back together for, because they have done their own deep dive. And what they discovered is there is something in their heart that has them hooked on you, that makes them want to still be with you forever. Future. 3 cards, please, Spirit, for future energy from the Divine Feminine. Future. 2 more, please, for future. 1 more, please, for future. Yes. Divine Masculine. Like I said, you have a Divine Feminine that has now gone in and embraced themselves. They have learned their own flaws. They have learned how to heal those things that hurt within, those things that you had nothing to do with, but you were getting blamed for in the connection. But now They want to come back to you, divine masculine. They want to embrace you. They miss your hugs. I feel like you are the type of divine masculine that when you hugged this feminine, you held them tight. And I feel like you always hope that your hugs were healing. You hope that your hugs would make them feel the love that you really had for them. But the reality was you could not heal them. You could not heal what you did not break. But I feel like this divine feminine definitely misses your hugs, and they want a chance to turn this relationship back around. They want the opportunity to come back into your life and to try it again. Because going out there in the world, when you've truly found a connection, when you've truly found your partner, you realize that when you go out there in the world, it's a rarity. It's truly hard to find that person that truly understands you, that truly connects to you mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And unfortunately, a lot of times don't appreciate it until they no longer have it in their presence. But sometimes, divine masculines, sometimes people have to walk away. They have to be torn apart. The relationship has to break down and go to shit in order for people to realize exactly how beautiful their connection was, how selfish they were being and acting, how much they weren't giving or appreciating what they had. And I feel like you have a divine feminine who has finally realized this, divine masculine, and they are ready to come back. What are the romance and love messages? What are the hopes and fears from your divine feminine, divine masculine? What are their hopes and fears? What are the hopes and fears? The first is the hope. They hope that you feel that your connection is destined. Your divine feminine wants this reunion with you. They feel as if you guys are a soul bond, a twin flame connection, a connection like no other that they've ever felt. Destiny, hopes and fears of the divine feminine. They fear the connection turning into a fake friendship, something that never gets off the ground, something that never turns into something romantic, something amazing. They don't want to shake your hand. They want to embrace you. They want to hold you. Hopes and fears from your divine feminine. They don't want to come back with the same emotional baggage they left with. They don't want to weigh down the relationship anymore. They want to come in on a clean slate. They want to express to you what they've learned about themselves. They want the opportunity to let go of the old emotions, of the old baggage. Messages from the divine feminine to the divine masculine. Their fear is that you found closure. Their fear is that you no longer want to give this a chance. Their fear is that you don't see this connection as worth reopening the door for. Hope. They hope that you allow them to express to you what they could not see before, what they did not understand about who you were to them before. hope and fears of the divine feminine to their divine masculine. They hope that their return to you, their communication to you, is a pleasant surprise, is a surprise that gives you a good feeling, that gives you hope for the future with them, that brings a smile to your face. They hope, beautiful. They hope that you see this as true love coming back at the perfect time, divine masculine. Like I said, there's something in their heart that has them hooked on you. This divine feminine truly now sees your worth, understands who you are to them, and they're ready to come back and show their appreciation to you because they feel like this is spiritually guided. This connection has the potential to be incredibly divine, and they feel like it is the right time for destiny. What are the hidden feelings from the divine feminine's heartstrings for their divine masculine? What's the hidden messages from the divine feminine's heart? Why can't you see my heart? This divine feminine truly wants to open up to you, and they truly want you to see their heart. They truly want you to understand that they see you, that they feel you, and that they've learned your value. Divine masculine. The question becomes, will you be available? Are you open to allow this divine feminine to come back towards you and give them a chance to truly see their growth, their healing, their evolution? Is the connection worth a topsy-turvy, a 180 turnaround? Or have you already found closure and moved forward? All of you guys' timelines will be different. What are your music oracles? Well, if you had a question about whether this was a divine union, the answer would be yes. The song that came out for you in this connection, Divine Masculine, is called I'm Yours. Artist, Jason Mraz. Divine Union. Will you embrace it? Will you accept your divine feminine back? Will you be able to trust them with your heart again? Allow them back into your heart to love you in the way that you deserve to be loved. That is what I have for you, Divine Masculine. I pray that this was useful for you. Hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me. But until next time, you guys, bye.